Alright, and welcome back to Top Guest Studio with me, your host, Joe. Last week, we took Top Guest off-site for two great interviews. Now, this week, he's been on The Bachelor and also on The Bachelorette in Paradise and also a body double in Thor Ragnarok as the man himself, Hulk. Please welcome our top guest for episode 18. It's Apollo Jackson.
Woo!
So
Thanks,
welcome
Joe.
to the studio, Apollo, for episode 18.
Oh, thanks so much for having me on the show. I'm a big fan of the show, so I'm happy to finally be on it.
Oh, good. So, we are at your place here. Can you tell me who your favourite horse is?
Oh, it's so hard. So we've got four. We've actually got a new horse here called Dante as well. But we've got so Dante, who's a paint horse. Then we've got Sunny, who's a quarter horse, and then we've got three miniature ponies: Mindy, Larry, and Yogi, who's the cheekiest one out of all of them. Yogi's personality is amazing, but my first ever pony was Mindy, and I love Mindy to bits. So she's quietly, I won't tell the others, but she's my favourite. She gives really good cuddles. She's like a big marshmallow.
So you are an amazing entertainer, and you can do so many illusions, and you have so many adventures this year. It's great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, there's a few things I've been working on, and some things don't work out and some things do. But I've had an amazing year, with a few things that have come up. Working with different charities and get to do different events and things that you've been working on for a while. Finally sort of coming to fruition. So it's been a really good year so far.
So what's your next upcoming project?
The next project, I work with the Children's Tumour Foundation, and we've got an event called Hero Day coming next weekend. So for that, we're doing this crazy escape. We've got a jail cell we've built outdoors, and we've got a timed explosion in there. So I've got to escape from a set of handcuffs and then unlock 3 padlocks on the jail cell and get out before the explosion goes off. So yeah, hopefully we can raise some money or some awareness for the kids with NF through it. So that's the next project.
So is there any magic tricks you have done out in the public?
Yeah, that's when I was younger. That's where I sort of practiced everything. So if I learn a trick at home, I'd spend a few hours or normally a few days or a few weeks learning it, and then the next thing is to see how people react to it. So I generally go down to Burleigh or go out anywhere where there was people and just perform for people in the street or go up and do street magic to people and just see how they react to what I was practicing.
So what's your biggest illusion or magic trick you've done?
The biggest one I've done, I've always done the suspended straitjacket escape. So and we kept going higher and higher and building that up. And then for Australia's Got Talent, we decided to not just have the flaming spikes, but to light me on fire as well. So that's probably been the biggest one so far.
Well, we did see the judges were a bit scared.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared up there as well. It got really warm, but yeah, I was pretty happy. We put a lot of practice into that, and it turned out pretty good.
When the judges saw you in the straitjacket, they were like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Yeah, what's happening here? And I was quite nervous before that as well, because I'd performed a little bit of magic on TV here and there, but never on a stage like that in front of that many people on stage as well. So yeah, it was a really good feeling when I got down and I was still in one piece afterwards. I was happy.
So what was it like to work with Marvel in Thor Ragnarok?
That was amazing. You've already seen my room. It's just got absolutely everything to do with Marvel, and Hulk's always been my favorite character since I was a kid. And when I found out that I was going to be working on Ragnarok, I was really, really excited, because it was my first big, I guess, film set that I was working on. I'd always done Australian independents or student films, but big budget with the big sets and then building these big alien spaceships around us. And I started off as a gladiator, and then got asked if I'd be interested in doubling the Hulk. So it was such an awesome opportunity, and I was really happy with that.
So, what do you do for a living? Not just like Like, do you do music or do you do both magic and that?
I sort of do a little bit of everything. When I was younger, I always had, you know, a job as well, but I was never really busy with music or really busy with magic or really busy with acting, and I kind of loved all three. So I put all my time and effort to, I guess, developing each of those skills. And then as I got older, I could never really choose just one. So I thought I'd, you know, try and find a way that I can do all three without, you know, putting too much time into one that it neglects the other. So yeah, I kind of do all three, and it keeps things interesting and it keeps me motivated in the other areas.
And did you do magic at school for your friends and family and all that?
I did, yeah. Back in school, in high school, mostly, I was performing magic for almost everyone at school. And anytime they had, you know, like a school fete or a school event, they'd always, you know, be you know, getting me to get up there and perform. So I was known as the magic kid in high school, and I always had a deck of cards on me everywhere I went. And I was obsessed with Chris Angel. My Year 12 jersey had Mind Freak on the back. That's how obsessed I was. I had the long hair and everything. Yeah.
So, what inspired you to do magic?
It was really funny. I actually started off as a dancer. So when I was 3 years old, I gave Mum. Apparently, I picked the phone book up and I said to Mum, I want to be a dancer. And she got me into dancing, and then I remember seeing my first magic trick when I was younger, and then I got a magic kit for Christmas, like, you know, everyone gets that magic kit as a kid, and I just loved it. And you know, a lot of people grow out of the magic phase. I never grew out of the magic phase. I was just, you know, wanting to learn more. So every time my parents were, you know, going away as a kid, they'd always come back from the magic shop with a new book or, you know, a new trick that I could learn. And yeah, it just sort of grew from there. I liked the fact that it didn't matter how old people were, what language they spoke, you know, what their background was. You could make them smile and engage with absolutely anyone with it, which was good, because I was a little bit shy as a kid. So for me, it was a nice way of connecting with people.
Now, you were on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. What was that like to be on?
Oh man, I'm not the greatest person when it comes to dating. I'm, you know, very, very nervous when it comes to going on dates. So I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous going on both those shows, because, you know, it's one thing meeting someone for the first time, but then meeting someone for the first time, but knowing you're on camera and knowing that, you know, if you say something silly or you do something funny, that, you know, it's going to be there. But at the same time, it was really good. I learned a lot about myself and got a lot of confidence as well. And yeah, and got to go on some amazing dates as well. It was, yeah, never get to go on those dates really again.
So, who is your favourite magician?
My favourite magician? Oh, that's the hardest question in the world. Growing up, I loved David Blaine and Chris Angel. They were the two guys that were on TV that I was, like, you know, obsessed with, and I never missed an episode or a TV special that they did. Then as I got older, you know, got to watch Dynamo and that sort of thing as well. But I really like the original magicians, like your Vegas ones. I love, you know, your Copperfields and your Lance Burtons, and yeah, those sort of guys. They sort of captured imagination into what they were doing. You know, they had the 80s mullets and everything like that, but the way they performed was really sort of taking the audience to another world, it sort of felt like, and I like that.
Did you study Houdini's techniques or anything?
I was obsessed with Houdini growing up. I've got almost every book on Houdini that was ever written, because escapes were something that always interested me as a kid. There's a guy who lives locally in the area called Arthur Coughlin, and he's sort of Australia's most well-known escape artist, but he was a really well-known magician here as well. He had a theatre on Magic Mountain in Miami, and they used to have a dinner theatre restaurant up there, and had this huge stage show. And my friend growing up, his mum was Arthur Coughlin's assistant, and she gave me this DVD when I was really young. And I was watching all his old escapes on there, and I just was hooked. Like, I loved the suspense of it. I loved, you know, the impossibility of it. And obviously went back to Houdini, who was the original famous escape artist. And everything about him, I was just like, wow, this guy was so cool. He was just so imaginative, and he didn't have any money, or he came from nothing, but he ended up, building himself into being this, this performer and entertainer that traveled the world, and I love that.
So, what's been your favourite movie so far this year?
Oh, that's a big question. It's got to be Endgame. I'm such a Marvel freak, and I think Endgame for me, even though it was so sad, and I'm still getting over it, it was such a good movie, and it was so exciting, and I'm excited to see the rest of the Marvel movies. They just released their calendar with their movies coming out.
And did you hear, unfortunately, they've taken Spider-Man out of the MCU?
That was the most shocking news of the year. I just because I'd just seen the new Spider-Man movie. Have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome, wasn't it? I saw that and I was like, oh, this is great. They had Mysterio in there, and I loved what Marvel was doing with Spider-Man. So to hear him getting taken out of the universe, I was a little bit sad, but I'm sure somehow they'll be able to work something out between Sony and them. I'm hoping so anyway, because he's been amazing, and Tom Holland as Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man yet, I think.
So, did you get to meet any of the celebrities on Thor Ragnarok, like Chris or Mark Ruffalo?
I did. I got to meet Chris Hemsworth. There was a scene, and it wasn't as Hulk, it was as a gladiator, and he was doing this scene with Taika, who was the
Korg?
the director. He was Korg, yeah. I was trying to think of his character's name, so Taika's all dotted up. I was sort of there, and in between takes, Chris sort of came up and just went like that to me, and I couldn't even talk. He's my favourite actor, and I just think he's so cool because he's so down to earth and just such a nice guy and so talented at what he does. That I was like, I think I said "g'day" or something, or I don't even remember what I said, but I couldn't talk, and I've never been around anyone like that before. So,
what was it like to be around Chris? Was it?
It was just so natural and down to earth, and just made everyone feel so just comfortable, and you sort of felt like, even though he's this big superstar, you also felt like he was a normal bloke. He was very humble, was very down to earth, and didn't mind talking to people, and he's a real, and what he does as an actor is amazing. The way he just switches in and out of character, he's very talented. So
what was it like to see him as Thor?
Oh, amazing! Yeah, absolutely amazing. If there's anyone who can make you feel super fat within a second, it's Chris Hemsworth, because he was shredded in that movie. On set, it was in his Thor outfit and everything like that. It almost felt like I wasn't standing next to Chris Hemsworth. I was standing next to Thor.
So did you get to meet any of the other celebrities while on Thor Ragnarok?
I got to meet a few of the stunt people, because the scene that I did as the Hulk, I was basically painted all green. It was really funny. So from head to toe, I was just painted this funny green, and they spin this little mapping ball thing behind me, and I've got to run and do different things. But the tent I was in was with a few of the stunt people there. So there was this stunt guy, I think his name was Bobby, and he does Chris Hemsworth and a bunch of other people, and he was phenomenal. So I got to meet him and a few of the others on set. But it was really funny because I'm there in a robe, right? And they'd be like, Green Steve, which was my name, come out, and I'd get this robe on. I was wearing these little tiny pants, basically like undies, and I'd have to do whatever I had to do, and the whole set would just stop. And then, I'd put my robe off, and I'm just doing painted green running his undies while they're mapping the Hulk. So it was a great experience. It was really funny and really inspiring as well to work, just in the vicinity and next to those people.
So, what was it like when you got there and you just get to see all the characters?
It was like being in another world, like I said, I've been on independent films where people have made sets and stuff before, but never to that size and scale. It was huge. Some of the sets and stuff they had for the film. So I was sort of like a little kid at Christmas the whole time. My jaw was on the floor, and I was just so excited and happy to be there. Even though they were long days, I was just always happy and always excited to see what was next, and what costumes and who you might walk past, and yeah, it was a really fun experience.
So, what what character would you want to play if you were in a movie next year or at the end of this year?
Ooh, oh, that's a real tricky one. Um, it's funny. Like I've always wanted to play a hero, but I've always wanted to play a villain as well.
Ooh.
And there's so many villains that come to mind. I've always liked to play Hulk, obviously, because he's my favorite character. But Mark Ruffalo does an amazing job. But to be honest, I'd play anyone. You know, I could, if Marvel gave me a phone call and they're like, "Oh, look, we want you to play this new character that we've just come up with, and he's like a walking steaming poo," I'd be like, "Yes, sweet, I'm in."
I reckon you could play Captain America because we don't have the normal Captain America anymore, so you'd be perfect to play Captain America.
That's true. Yeah, I'd like to play Captain. That would be a good role, actually. Yeah, and I wouldn't have to do too much to the hair, and I wouldn't have to get as green. So, yeah, that'd be good.
So, what's your music life now? So, what will you be doing this year or next year with your music?
When it comes to music, for me, it's just always been about having fun and just about, I guess, creating. And because I've got a lot of friends I've grown up with that do music, so for me, it was just always nice to be able to sit down and, you know, you've got someone else who plays drums and someone else who plays guitar, and you just get together and just sort of make music. And sort of last 2 years, I've been busy with the magic side of things and other things, and I've sort of, I guess, put that on the back foot. But I've just started, you know, catching up with my friends again and playing music and creating music together. So getting back to doing gigs, which is something that I really enjoy doing. And then also sitting down with friends and we're making music, which is nice, you know, writing things. And so, yeah, that's it. Just have fun and just create and perform. That's all I really want to do in the next year with that.
So who's your favourite musical influences?
Favourite musical influences? I grew up and my mum is a huge 80s rock fan. So I grew up with Bon Jovi, Kiss, Led Zeppelin, Motley Crue, you know, Guns N' Roses, all those bands. So they were massive influences for me growing up. But then one person that I know we're both, you know, absolutely inspired by is Michael Jackson as well. So Michael Jackson and Prince were probably the two on the pop side. So that they were probably my big influences growing up, you know, between your glam rock bands and then, you know, the two pop icons. I feel like I had a pretty good upbringing with music.
Did you ever get to see any Michael Jackson concerts, or did you ever go to any Michael Jackson tribute shows?
I've been to a few Michael Jackson tribute shows, but I never got to see him live. But inside we've got, you know, all the DVDs. So yeah, as a kid, well, not just as a kid, but I used to watch these, and I'd try and do the moves and stuff, and never quite had the coordination like Michael did. But
so, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song of all time?
My favorite of all time, it's got to be "Beat It." There's something about the energy, "Beat It," and you know the guitar solo in there. And,
by Van Halen.
Yeah, he absolutely shreds that solo. I don't know. He's got so many good songs, but that song for me was always like, yeah. I remember I used to play football as a kid, and that was one of the songs I used to play before I went out there. It always used to get me in the mood. Like, yeah.
So, are you writing a song this year, or are you in the process of writing one?
Yeah. I actually wrote a bunch of songs at the start of the year, and then didn't really do anything with them. But now that I'm sort of hanging out and playing music and making music with other people, yeah, we've got one that we're recording right now. A friend of mine, Combs, and I, and that hopefully should be done maybe by next week. So that one, yeah, we'll probably make a music video for and just have some fun and get out. And there's a few other people that I've written songs and started working with, and it's like I said, it's just about having fun and creating with different people, because everyone's got their own style and their own influences of music, and it's really fun to be able to sit down and go, okay, you play this type of music, and I'll write something like this, and this guitar riff works well with this, and there'll be probably one or two songs probably by the end of the year. Hopefully we can get done.
I reckon you could do sing and magic at the same time, because then you could go on tour with some big celebrities who are singers, and you could do the magic side.
The magic side.
While they're doing their singing, you could be out up on stage doing magic or illusions. You never know.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, see, that's the thing, isn't it? You could always combine the two, and I guess there's a lot of acts out there that, Britney Spears did a circus show a few years ago, didn't she?
Yeah.
Circus tour, and she had her singing, and they had circus performers, and see, something like that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon I could see you out in Vegas one day, your name up in lights, Apollo Jackson.
Oh, I'd love that. I think that'd be my ultimate dream, to perform over there. There's the theatres and everything. I think that's the pinnacle of magic, performing over there.
Now, where would you see yourself in 10 years' time as a magician and a singer?
That's a hard one. Well, for me, it's all about just having fun, and as long as I can, inspire people with what I do, or make people smile, make people laugh, I'm happy with that. I'm very set on making things as big and crazy as possible. So I'd love to be doing large scale illusions and big escapes, and hopefully traveling the world doing it would be pretty cool. And when it comes to music, just making music with different people and meeting new people and traveling.
Now, will you be on Australia's Got Talent again this year?
Yeah. We just shot the next part, so it was the semi-finals. So that I think should be airing over the next week or two. So that'll be coming up, which is pretty exciting.
Now, can you give us a bit of a hint about the illusion or magic trick that you'll be doing?
I can. I tried to do it a bit different this time, because I did the crazy one for the first one on fire, and then I thought for this one it'd be nice to sort of show where I started, with just cards and coins and things. So I've got a close-up routine with a bit of a twist in it for the next one.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, it was very complicated. It's a very, very complicated routine. But hopefully it all comes together.
Now, we see you are a massive Star Wars fan, as you've got 2 Star Wars figurines over here.
Huge, yeah.
So, are you looking forward to the next Star Wars?
Oh, I can't wait. I'm one of those people that as soon as a film's out, like I'll see it the opening night, and then I'll be on all the fan websites and all the fan theory websites about the next film. So I've been reading all the blogs and watching the videos on YouTube and stuff leading into this next one, and I think everyone's excited for it as well.
Maybe you could get a call up as Chewie, because they need a Chewie after the recent Chewie passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think we're about the same height as well. And I'm probably about hairy enough at the moment with my winter coat.
So we might see you as the big hairy guy in the next Star Wars, hopefully. So we might see you as...
I might need you to do the voice for me, though. I'm not very good at that.
I think it'd probably be like... Because they haven't got a Master Yoda anymore, because Master Yoda died in the old Star Wars, so... Yeah.
Yeah. That might work.
That might work. So, we're here at your studio. What do? Do you do music and practice your magic as well?
Yeah, so this is like my fun room. This is my escape room. After I've done whatever I do out there, I escape out here, and I can be out for just hours, just playing with music or playing with magic. And when I have, friends like yourself over, I do other things as well, like what we're doing filming today, or make music, or sometimes we'll game, or we'll do some writing or something. So it's just sort of like a creative room.
Yeah. All right, guys. Now it's time for the rapid fire round. So, Apollo, are you ready?
I think I'm ready. I'm going to try my best.
All right. Here we go. Favorite way to relax?
Favorite way to relax? Eating.
Who is your inspiration or hero?
My inspiration or hero, I love Dwayne Johnson and Chris Hemsworth, probably my two.
The best place to be on the Gold Coast?
Right here, in Telebudger Valley, I reckon.
The best magic trick you have seen or you have performed?
Oh, I'm going to go with the best one that I've seen. Penn and Teller do a trick, and it's just with a ball. Like, it's just a kick ball and a piece of string. Have a look online. It's amazing. And that's probably one of my favourite pieces of magic ever.
Your biggest influence?
Biggest influence? Oh, I'm gonna have to say my parents. I know it's the nice thing to say, but they've been amazing and they've helped me so much.
Favorite movie or TV show?
Favorite movie or TV show? Ooh, favorite TV show at the moment, and probably for the last few years, has probably been Rick and Morty. I love it. It's just the silly, crazy, out this world humor. And my favorite movie, it's gonna have to be something in the MCU. I'm gonna go with. Oh, I'm not supposed to rapid fire. Oh, this is so hard. Okay. I'm gonna have to go Endgame. Yeah.
So, favorite movie star?
Favorite movie star? Again, that's a tough one. Probably Chris Hemsworth. He plays some cool roles. Yeah.
What character would you love to play in a movie or a TV show?
Movie or a TV show? It's funny. Growing up, I always wanted to be the Phantom.
Oh.
They haven't redone the Phantom yet. Billy Zane, but I love the Phantom. So I feel like I'd like to do the Phantom.
Is there any other character you'd like to play?
Well, Phantom's probably numero uno. And then the Hulk would be pretty cool. Get to smash things. Hulk smash!
And favorite meal and who cooks it?
Favorite meal and who cooks it? Who cooks it definitely isn't me. I'm an okay chef, but I'm not amazing. And the favorite meal would have to be pizza. I love pizza. Yeah, and there's actually a place called Pepe's up the road, and they do an amazing pizza. And every time I've gone there, I'm just absolutely happy with it. So.
And do you have a pet? Yes,
yeah, I've got my ponies, which I've had Mindy since I was, I think I was about 9 when I got her. But then I've also got doves, so I've got 6 doves at the moment.
So do you do the magic where the doves fly out and you come out on stage?
I used to when I was younger, and then and then I just got, I don't know, I sort of went into different types of magic, and then I enjoyed having them as pets. They've all got little funny personalities, so. Yeah, one dove turned into 6 doves. So now I've got like a whole dove family out there, and I love spending time with them. You sit there with them for hours.
Well, thank you so much for joining the show, Apollo, and we loved hearing about all your magic and all your music stuff. So yeah.
Oh, cheers! Thanks so much for having me on the show.
So, all right, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and subscribe to my channel is nothing. There's nothing you have to do. Just subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share. Alright guys, we'll see you next week for another great episode of Top Guest Studio with me, your host, Joe. Alright guys, see ya!